What's happening, man?
Hey man, thanks for reconnecting.
Oh, bro, of course.
Good. I'm gonna do a double record here. Just man, we got about halfway through, and then it all got kind of garbled up. It was weird.
That is weird.
I
Okay.
did never had that before, and I hope I never have it again. But
Yeah.
audio recording it now. Double
Okay.
check. Everything's good. We're good.
My dog, Jay Sweet. Something.
Well, the nice thing is I got to listen to the record a little bit more,
Oh,
uh,
good, good. Dope,
and
man.
and in doing so, I even appreciate it more than than I did the first time, which I loved the first time. So
Oh,
I'll be honest, man. I think it's one of the best records of the year.
damn, bro. Thank you, man.
I
Thank you.
listen to a lot of music, and man, you hit on something with this one for sure, man. So
Well,
congratulations.
thank you, bro. Thank you, man. It's wild, man. This record coming in this time, it's like you already know, bro. It's so much with the kids and with life, but it's like this season feels like finally the seeds we've been planting are starting to just like, blossom and bloom. Like it really feels that way. It's like what a time. Like all in the past week, bro. It's a lot. Kids going back to school, but like that's dope. My kid just turned 4. August birthday was on the 31st. We just got back from Napa on like Monday. Because I played like Robert Glasper's festival and I was sick, and then they moved me up to the big stage. So it was just like it's a lot to take in, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what, like, a lot of pressure too, but it was like
Right,
dope.
right. I mean, life changes, right? I mean, you're right at that age, man. And I think the record reflects it. So, of course, since we didn't get to archive what we talked about earlier, the
Oh yeah.
record, not every one can go.
Uh-huh.
It's been out since August 29th.
Yeah.
And there's some singles out there as well. And it seems like this album has a theme. And a lot of already what you kind of talked about, like sort of the progression of life in your life.
100%.
Yeah, so if you could explain to the audience the theme of the record and how it all came about.
Man, sure. I mean, there like a lot of my records, there's several themes, and a few narratives, I guess, all happening at once because, these projects are autobiographical, and it's like, it's not gonna be like the most perfectly well-crafted solo, but it's like or song or even story. It's like there's just all these things kind of happening at once. So I'm trying to tell the story, I guess, of like the ups and downs that we go through in life, you know what I mean? I try and tell the story of the struggle of balancing work and family life and trying to depict that, where to, put your attention and focus your intention on. Um, and then, the power of gratitude, where I place this song, We've Come So Far, right in the middle of it. And right in the middle of the record, so the first like portion of the record is very much, someone kind of just ruminating in this space of turmoil, and it could be like personally just going through things and just kind of focusing on the shit that's not working. You know what I'm saying? Harboring feelings is about that. It's about being in a relationship and just not saying what you mean and just being ships in the night a bit, which I feel like a lot of married people and just grown people can relate to. And then yeah, it's a grown person record, and then my everything about just like some of the loss that may come in life, but just knowing deep down, like having that faith that shit will turn around.
Yeah.
That's what my everything is about. So I kind of front loaded the record with a bit of the conflict and internal turmoil, and then somewhere halfway through, I put in "We've Come So Far," which is this nice light bop, this kind of like guitar heavy song, super short, but just a reminder that like it'll be all right. That's in the pre-chorus. It's gonna be cool. It's just gonna turn around, and then after that record, everything kind of takes a different turn and has a brighter kind of sheen to it. My son is this beautiful bright tune. All my life, another beautiful beautiful bright tune, and it's about just kind of falling back in love with life and with things and with people. And part of not everyone can go is about letting go of some of those things that no longer work and no longer serve you. And that's not only just people and relationships. Sometimes it's just patterns and behaviors,
Right.
that I have, right? that harboring feelings all these songs speak to, you know what I'm saying? Like not being direct, not doing this, not addressing things head on sometimes. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta work on that shit. And then, halfway through, I want the record to kind of shift and speak to, um, you know, that space of like when your patterns and behaviors start to change, after you've had a little bit of reflection on like some of the things that no longer work, and that internal shift that then turns to this external, like, where the protagonist is just finally starting to enjoy the fruits of his labor. And a lot of that is like a mental and internal shift.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's got it all there. And
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, all that's in there. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's like,
yeah, but it took like a few listenings to really like get how it's like almost like a story in a way. And then like one of the songs that fascinates me, and you've kind of touched on it, is "We've Come So Far." And I was reading somewhere where you talked about how social justice plays a role in your music, and of course, your father being a law professor, as we talked about,
yeah,
who teaches, I think, constitutional law. You were saying,
yep,
um,
civil
so
rights law.
yeah, say that again. I'm sorry.
And civil rights law as well. So he like will focus on the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and 65, and like and the Voting Rights Act, and we'll delve into it and everything Martin Luther King was working on, and all types of stuff like that. So like it's cool that he's found, even within a really highfalutin kind of academic institution, a way of like speaking to, really the importance of just like the black leaders of the past, of the 21st century, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, and then like in that song, like initially it seems like it's about relationships, which I think probably is an aspect of that, but also somewhat about political awareness and progress, I imagine, right?
100%. Yeah, society. Yeah, for sure. That's one of those songs that, um, yeah, I wanted to try and speak to the anxiety I felt, and it was palpable in like 2020,
Right.
uh, with just like people losing faith in these social structures and systems, and not trusting, in our community, the black community, we've always had this kind of mistrust in, like, let's say the government, or certain, let's say, even like the vaccine. Unfortunately, like, I was vaccinated, but like I could acknowledge when I went to the barber shop, there's a sect of my population that just like would not be, you know what I mean? But then that became really pervasive, and it just started to become this thing where people just didn't know what to believe. And Trump has only exacerbated that issue, where facts don't matter, truth don't matter, science, and it's horrible. And it's a scary thing when shit starts to feel that way. So I wanted to kind of speak to that hysteria a bit. And even the first lyric, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I say, I can't stop worrying. I can't, shit's circling around my mind. I feel like I'm falling, falling behind. And it's just really speaking to, um, I just feel like a feeling that a lot of people started to feel during that period of time.
Yeah.
It applied then as it applies now. It's like the economy's only gotten worse, and I'm sure people still feel like just, falling behind in some kind of way. But again, in that pre-chorus, I'm like, man, shit, it's gonna be all right, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's funny because like not funny, but as we're speaking right now, we have like Kennedy discussing his anti-vaccine stance, and that you just sort of brought that up. Actually,
100%.
I just was watching that before I came on with you, and
Hmm.
but then you got like you said, you put like almost a positive spin on it, even though you say like everybody's starting to lose their minds, which I I truly believe is true. Uh,
100%. My bad. That was the pre-chorus. That's right. I think
yeah,
about it all the time.
it's
When I
okay.
look around, I think you'll find that everybody's starting to lose their minds. 100%. That's what it seems like.
Yeah,
What is
and
going on?
like that positive spin, it reminds me a lot of, and this is high praise, at least I think, of a change is going to come, where it's talking about the issue, Sam Cooke. Um,
That's my great uncle right there, man. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. That would be crazy. Can you imagine?
it would be funny if he said it because I hear some similarity, but yeah, like, but there's it's like it's been a hard time coming or whatever, but a change is going to come, and there's
100%.
like, do you believe that there will be a positive shift in all this?
100% I do. I'm like an optimist, and as I've gotten older, a little bit more pragmatic optimist, where I'm like, you know what I mean, not like just, oh, it all, uh, oh, everything will just be completely fine. It's like, no, no, it's gonna take a lot of work and like strategizing, um, and intention for sure. And I think even in the nuclear sense, I'm like, that part is like, me and Shay and like our family, like we're gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? And if we continue to take care of our little pockets, you know what I'm saying, and our little silos and circles, everyone can do that in their own little like small communities. It's like that could be a global massive, shift and a massive change. You know what I'm saying? If we can take care of our own.
True.
Uh,
And, like if you
you know what
start
I'm
out
saying?
on a micro level, maybe it moves into a macro level, you're saying.
100%. Taking care of your kids, man. Taking care of your family, putting your family first, being in the house, stay in the house, keep your marriage alive. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't even realize the course that you're setting when you by doing that, just taking care of that.
Yeah. I mean, I totally know what you're saying. I've been married a lot longer
Oh
than
yeah,
you.
sorry, right. I know, bro. I know. I sound like I've been married for
No,
20
but you're
years.
right, and it is work. It's work, man. And
Oh yeah.
I mean, you touch upon, you seem to have this self-awareness, and it's something that I deal with as well. Is like, trying to, even in harboring feelings, like you talk about maybe hard-headed, being a little hard-headed, and the struggles of a relationship. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's me.
it's a lot of us, you know. But and then you bring kids into it, and it's the whole dynamic shifts, right?
Woo! Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It do. Yeah, man. It's real. You got to become even, yeah, more patient, But that's what kids will do, though. They expand your capacity, which
Yeah.
I'm grateful for. The
Right.
things now that I do that I'm like, wow, that would have really stressed me out. Like, before kids, you know what I'm saying? That now I'm like, can just multitask in a way where I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And things that
Oh,
I don't sweat things that fall apart sometimes. I'm like, we'll figure this shit out, man. It'll be cool.
yeah. And of course, they don't care that you're playing all night and you got home at 2 in the morning, right?
Oh yeah, no, man. Oh, bro, okay. So I took my whole family to Napa, right, for the Black Radio Blue Note Festival. The moment I step off stage, August, my boy, who's 4, August goes, "Dad, you were playing too long, too long." I was like,
Love that.
I was like, wow, man, they'll humble you. I was like, that was only 45 minutes, bro. Nah, hilarious.
Yeah, and it is
They don't
funny.
care.
You almost you think that they're gonna look at you and like almost sometimes as a hero worship kind of not so much, but they see you on stage and they're gonna be prideful, and they know what they know, you know. Uh,
100%.
yeah, that's so funny.
100%. That shit cracked me up. I was like, I appreciate you, August, keeping me honest.
Mm.
Yeah, but to your point, yeah, they don't know, bro. They don't know.
Right.
Um, yeah, but 100%. To your point about harboring, it's like, yeah, I wanted to speak to some of my own faults. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I have to work on. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and as do we all, man. But it's cool that you can put it to music and words. And like, do you think an artist maybe not so much has a responsibility, but um, I don't know, maybe yes. Like for example, back to We've Come So Far, Harboring,
Yeah.
deeply personal songs and thought-provoking songs. Is that something an artist should strive to do, or is it just
Uh,
something?
Yeah, I've been raised that way, I think, and I think I can even you know, go harder in that regard. I'm sure my dad would tell me like, Brax, you got a platform, man. He would say things like this, you
Yeah,
just, and I think he's totally right. It's like you have people that a lot of artists are in this interesting conundrum where it's like some of us maybe the least educated on the issue yet have the most people listening to us, and it's an interesting thing. Um, so I do feel a responsibility to like, on
yeah,
certain issues, like know what I'm talking about or know like what it is am passionate about. You can't speak and be an expert on everything, but there are some things I can speak to when it comes to like institutionalization of like jazz in schools and my stance on that and music and education. There's certain realms where I feel like I can speak to. Um, that I'm an expert on and others that I'm not. But like there are times like for example, we're in the midst of like a genocide where it's like, nah, man, it's important to at least speak up and shine light on the people that do know what they're talking about. Like go check this out. This is what's happening. This is what's happening in Gaza. Families are being killed, they're getting starved out. And it's just like, there are times where I feel like it's just important to leverage the platform to so people just are educated and know what's going on. So I do feel like, there is that responsibility. Um, Personally, and I think a lot of that was from my father. However, in general, blanket, like all artists, I do think you have a responsibility to be like honest and vulnerable
Yeah.
in music. Like at least that. Not
Yeah.
everyone needs to be a political leader or speak to really, anything. If you don't know that, like if you're not educated on it, it's like you don't have to do that. But I do think like as an artist and creative, it's like it is imperative that you at least are like vulnerable and willing to, you know what I mean? That's what people are looking up on that stage. You're doing something that like they wish they could, you
Yeah.
know, or saying something they wish they could, or singing something they wish that, you know what I'm saying? That it's like, it's been on their heart that they couldn't put into words. So
Right.
I think that's at bare minimum, we got to do that.
That's really cool to hear you say that. Now, do you think there's an artist out there right now who sort of has taken up that mantle? Because I sometimes struggle to find a singular artist that I think of. When I think of protest or awareness music, perhaps I think of
Yeah.
more the '60s and the '70s artists. And there's not one singular voice that I could personally think of. But is there somebody for you who's currently out there?
Yeah, and no, not one singular voice. I'm with you on that. No, I think capitalism has had a role in that. The amount of artists and just like oversaturation in this particular field now is at an all-time high. And then also the idea of a singular anything is becoming like everything. The internet has democratized, um, I guess, celebrity in a way. So now there isn't any one person that everyone listens to
I
uh,
know.
in our space. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mhm.
almost in any space. It's like so. It's yeah. With that, no. To answer your question, no, no, there is no singular voice for me. Is there someone I do listen to, like a musician? There's some I like Michelle DeCello. She be speaking some real shit. Jason Moran be popping his shit. He's a really intelligent guy. Who else? Esperanza Spalding, another one.
Sure.
There are a few people that are just like in the music space that are also brilliant. I'm like, did
Yeah.
she want to go to Harvard or something? She went to Berkeley, but I think she might have got in too. She's one of those people though, like really brilliant. Christian Scott, another brilliant person. Um,
I
yeah,
mean,
there are a few.
Esperanza, you know her well, way better than I do, but I had interviewed her and I actually just saw her perform. Yeah, her mind works different than everyone else's.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and
It's
in
yeah,
a good way, you
in a
know.
good way, 100%, 100%. Which is cool to see. So yeah, there are a few in the jazz space that I think are pretty on it. Um, but it's case by case, and no one's perfect. I can say that right now, and then someone is like, "Do you know what so and so said about this?" I'd be like, "Look, I don't know."
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
But you're right. I guess the commercialism aspect, because back then everyone heard Dylan. Everyone. You know,
yeah. Back when the labels really ran everything, you know what I'm saying? So like they could kind of pick and choose. There were just less artists. I mean, sure, there were there were less people on the planet. It's just like it's another time.
yeah, that's a good
Harder,
point.
harder to cut through.
Yeah. And then you have like these instrumental tracks, which are great. And it takes a while. I think the first two or three are instrumental, if I'm not mistaken. And I
Yeah.
read somewhere, and maybe you can elaborate, that Zodiac had to do with the Zodiac Suites and Mary Lou Williams. Is that correct?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. We played some of those charts at Juilliard like my first or second year. Like Scorpio was one of my favorite charts we did of hers. So good. And yeah, I don't know. It had a profound effect on me because it was like so modal at that time, which
Yeah.
like everyone kind of credits to Miles in the excuse me 1950s. But like nah, she was each suite had like a different kind of mode. Some were like this real Aeolian and Phrygian sounding things, and like I don't know, it stuck with me, and I was like, okay, I want to do something modal like that. Um, and it's kind of a shout to her. And funny enough, I wrote this in 2020, like right when Fire Sign came out, so it fit that astrological theme of that record was very much on that theme, but it just that was more of an R&B project, and I just didn't hear this instrumental that track on that album. I guess
Okay.
even though like the title made sense, but I didn't feel like Zodiac fit that project. Um, so I brought in that demo from 2020 to the studio. We like jammed over, it, did 3 takes, and then like we came up with this dope outro. Mike King and like we just all kind of came up with it in between takes. Like, bro, what if we do this? And then I came up with that little melody at the end. And we just started jamming. That was it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm
I
saying
mean,
by 24 we got it.
yeah, I mean, she's such an underrated, to me, very underrated and
Right. Yeah, 100%.
people don't realize she was right in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
But I may maybe being a woman and a black woman at the time, just maybe,
100%.
yeah. When I was at I did my master's at Rutgers in Newark, and they have the jazz library there, and
Yeah.
all of her scores are sitting. It's like as just to be in, over Lester Young and Ben Webster's horn, like looking at this,
That's dope,
like,
man.
oh my God, this is the
Uh,
heaven, you know?
I used to live in Newark, bro. I might have
Oh,
told you.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and I was next to the Prudential Center.
Okay. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. Newark had a cool scene. It still has somewhat, but I did a lot of gigs in Newark in the early 2000s and 2010s. And
I never played out there, but I just like once we moved, I was like, man, this is nice. It's got some space.
yeah.
Yeah, moved to Jersey, get you a little bit of room. Yeah, bro. New York, we were living. That was crazy. Like a 500 square foot apartment or something. It was tiny.
Yeah. And it's your whole pay, It's a
Oh, 100%.
crazy. Cool. And then the other thing I had talked to you about prior, and I wanted to bring it up again, was just the production and particularly the drum sounds and all that. If you could speak to
Mm.
that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Like on all the instrumental records, man. Shouts to Joshua Pleater. So the guy that mixed and mastered the record, also we recorded at his studio, Dimension 70 in the Lower East Side, and he was the live engineer as well. And me and Josh, we go way back. He went to SUNY Purchase with my little brother. I think I really got to know him though. Like I went on tour with Tom Misch and he was doing sound for Hablo Brown and we just hit it off and then like this is 20 shit, 18 or something and started talking and then slowly but surely he started kind of doing live sound for us. So I think he just got to know our sound, live, started TMing with us, hanging with us and eventually started mixing and mastering some of my projects. So he did that last album, Who Are You When No One's Watching? Which I recorded a lot of that in LA, the instrumental records, so MB and all that stuff I did in LA. But then he was like, "Yo, for the next project, come to New York, bro. Let's do it." I was like, "All right." And the sound that he got off the straight off the board, bro, that day was so good. Because someone knows how y'all play already. He knows
Mhm.
Curtis, you know what I'm saying? He knew Renfro, he knew how I played. So it was just a matter of like getting the right mic, setting everything up, and then the post production, it wasn't much.
Really? Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, it makes sense because as I listen to some of the live stuff, um, it sounds like. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
amazed.
those are
That,
real hard delays. That's all live. We'd be
yeah.
playing and we would just like, yeah, no, that was all like we dialed some of that shit in like that day because I didn't get an additional producer on some of those records. You know what I'm saying? I added some vocals and shit on Zodiac and I think I added like an 808 somewhere, some background stuff, but you know what I'm saying? For the most part, he got everything dialed in. My son, all that shit. So clean.
Yeah, it's one of the best sounding records. I just love what came off of it. I mean,
Bro, thank you, man. Dang, shouts to Josh, yo. Yeah.
and if you listen, I don't say that to everyone. So if you listen to my show, I'm being
What do
truthful.
you say, Jay? You'd be like, yeah, your record, it sound cool.
Yeah. No, no, sometimes I just say anything. I, I appreciate all the artists for sure, but like this one touched me, man. This was, you
I'm
know,
blessed, bro. Thank you. Thank
it's,
you, man.
yeah, it's this perfect blend of like, that old school soul and there's enough modernism in there, and then the jazz playing is pure. The sax sound is great. Your voice sounds great. It's really cool, man. It's good. And of course, it has a lot to do, I'm sure, with all the influences you had, you know, growing up. Could you just maybe once again talk about just some of the people who really like influenced you, and really helped you along with your career?
Oh, yeah. So with my career,
Well, maybe first, just like the people you,
my influences. Yeah,
yeah.
sure. Well, man, on my wall, bro, it's like Charlie Parker, Cannonball Adderley, those were like huge inspirations. And my way kind of into that was like really through like contemporary horn players. It was Grover Washington Jr., um, Kirk Whalum, Gerald Albright. My dad used to have a Gerald Albright CD. He would just like play into the dirt, It was like we grew up with that kind of that sound, you know what I'm saying? At my barbershop, I just remember hearing Kim or, some smooth jazz and like that was, what I was used to hearing at a young age. And then also like a lot of soul music. So that's yeah, it's not surprising I kind of lean that direction because that's like really the soundtrack of my upbringing. Motown records, is soul, is Stax records. It's like yeah, it's Earth, Wind and Fire. It's all these horn parts, man. Michael Jackson. I got August is into Michael Jackson now, which is amazing. He's 4, and he's just like, can't even help it. He just can't even help dancing. He's like, Dad, can we hear some Michael Jackson? I'm like, sure. I didn't force that on him, but it's like there's
Yeah,
something about
my
that
kids,
music, man.
yeah, my kids responded to Michael Jackson and Prince really early on too.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like yeah, that just happened. One listen, he was like, "What was that?" So, yeah, there's something to that music, man, and it lives on, bro. And then so through those funk records and horn parts, whatever. I just started getting into these horn lines, and then I'm 5, 6 years old singing horn parts. You know what I'm saying? And then from there to like just the two of us, a lot of the R&B records. I heard Grover Washington, and then I wanted to play those parts, and then before I know it, I'm like, who did Grover Washington check out? And then I find Cannonball Adderley, and I find his like kind of that 60s soul Cannonball stuff with the Rhodes, you know what I mean? Joe Zawinul, and then from there, boom, I find Bird, and then I was hooked by like high school. You know what
right.
I'm saying? Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So that was yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So how does it transition to like now people start to discover you and some of the people who really
Well,
help?
Paul Carr was the guy. So, like in high school, I'm looking for a teacher. I studied with Morgan Russell first. I meet this dude, Elijah Ballbed, who's an incredible tenor saxophonist from Maryland, who at that time was, man, we were working, they were working rather at Dale Music, where I took lessons. You know, back in the day, you had to go and get sheet music from a real store. Go figure. People were like, what? You don't just download it? No. So we went to Dale Music in Silver Spring and they would have a teacher, that would taught lessons in the back. And I got a lesson from Morgan, and then eventually Elijah was like, "Yo, I'm studying with Paul. You should get a lesson with Paul, just to compare Morgan and Paul." So I get a lesson with Paul, and it was life changing. Like the first time, you know what I'm saying? Like we just kind of connected, but like not in a like buddy buddy way, in a like I never felt good enough kind of, you know what I'm talking about?
Cool.
But it was like that's really what you want from a coach.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to the gym and you're just like you do one lift and it's like that you're good. No, it's like your trainer's always like you got two more, man, and another two. I lied.
Yeah.
Okay, and another two. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're always on the brink of like growth essentially, and that's the way he would structure these lessons. I think I'd have something prepared and he'd be like, nah, now do it in all 12 keys or do it in this key, and I'd be like, what, but you told me,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm grateful for that. It was tough, but it was like I'm so grateful because I grew very quickly, and he just had a way of incentivizing me.
Mhm.
um, so yeah, very quickly I went from like all county Montgomery County alto player to all state, to then like these national bands, and I did like Grammy band and Young Arts and all that. By that point I met like some of the world, like kind of world talented musicians, um, and a lot of them went on to great music schools like Juilliard and all this other stuff, and I ended up staying friends with them. Samora, Josh, we all go back to high school, man. Like some of these guys on my album
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
albums, and because like yeah, we were those guys from where we were.
Mhm.
And by I went to Georgetown, but by that point they were all at Juilliard, and then I transferred, reconnected with them, and then boom, we were locked in by the time I moved to New York. Already
Right.
kind
Right.
of my guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then it was your associate. Was it Christian Scott? I'm trying to remember. Who was like
Yeah,
the
I met Christian my first year in New York. Yeah, I go to a Donald Harrison show. I had some homies again from the Grammy band. These guys that were from New Orleans, so they knew Christian since they were kids, and they were like, "You want to go backstage?" I go backstage, bro. We end up kicking it. They're gassing me up to Christian, and then before I know it, Christian's like, "Yo, where are you from?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, "I'm from Maryland. Where your family from?" They're from Mississippi. They're like, he's like Mississippi, Magnolia, blah, blah, blah. So then we started connecting on like where our families are from.
Okay.
This was
Yeah.
in Donald. He's like, yo, his family's from the South. They're for like 15, 20 minutes from New Orleans. I'm like, yeah. And then, he's like, yo, you kind of look like Donald. Whatever. People, you know how people do, try to act like I was family. And then before I knew it, bro, like we exchanged information. We just really hit it off. And Christian like sent me a bunch of tour dates and stuff. And I was kind of locked in my first year, bro, in New York with like a real like world class gig. It's crazy. You never even
Yeah.
heard me play.
That's I know it's there's some people just offer a kindness that's like,
Yeah,
isn't it, and it happens a lot in the jazz and more people I speak with, and even my own experiences. Yeah, it's just amazing how people, even before you put the horn to your mouth, they can be so generous,
100%, man. And then also like to the faith point back to the record is like it feels like yeah, some things are just feel like predestined. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's some opportunities like that. I'm like, I just happened to go this night, you know, and then
Yeah.
we just connected and he never even heard me play, doesn't hear me play. He wants me to be in the band, blah blah blah. I'm like, what is going on? And some things, yeah, just feel orchestrated, you know. Um, I've had moments like that where I'm like, my God, I must be on the right path, you know.
Yeah, I think you're on the right path.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
great.
and then of course that leads to like playing with monster, household names like Rihanna is one that comes to mind,
Oh,
right?
100%. 100%. Did the VMAs. Um, Man, I used to do the America's Got Talent. Like it was just a chill gig we could do at Radio City Music Hall. They would start tapings at 6:30. It was like right after we finished Big Band. So it'd be like me, the Big Band director, even James Burton, Enrique. You know, they wanted a few of us that like looked camera ready, whatever. They just
Right.
come down, wear all black, and mime to these performances while these kids people were singing. I was like, sure, it's an easy gig. So we did that for years just to make some extra money while we were in school. And eventually we get to know these contractors. So these are the people that book all the big TV appearances and TV shows. So we ended up on a bunch of random TV shows. I did a bunch of HBO shows like The Deuce, Godfather Harlem. And then eventually the award shows, whenever they came from LA to New York, they'd be like, all right, Madison Square Garden, VMAs 2016, Rihanna needs a band. So then Jill, who was the contractor, would just hit us up. That was
Yeah,
it.
that's the way.
Yeah, she hit me. And then turns out Rihanna last minute was like, actually, I want an all black band. So turns out I ended up having to book all my homies on that. Shouts to Jill, but she didn't know 30 black folk, I guess. And I was like, I got you, Jill. I got you. So,
Not
so
a
I
bad
just
position,
sent her like everybody's email and then boom.
right? That's not a bad position to be in.
No, it was fly. It was fly.
Cool.
Um, yeah, so that was cool.
Excellent. Yeah, so I guess right now what's going on? We're touring for the record.
Yeah, man, I leave for Phoenix tomorrow. We played this, I think it's called the MIM. It's like a musical instrument museum, or it's like a theater. So
Okay.
yeah, we play there tomorrow night. Then I get back and play. I'm trying to get back for my son's soccer game actually, first game of the season. So I'm trying to see if I can get a red eye or something like late tomorrow, right after the show. We'll see.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to change it. So yeah, after that, then I got the Blue Note shows in LA, which are gonna go crazy. Tuesday, Wednesday, super excited.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, we're gonna crush it. You
Yeah.
know?
And then the ones I'm really looking forward to, Blue Note in New York, which is close
Oh,
to
well, that's gonna be live November what?
November 11th
Oh,
through the 13th, I think, right?
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So I know that's something in particular I'm supposed to mention, and I'm happy to mention it. So
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. November 12th. Pull up, man. Pull up. It's gonna be sick.
yeah, definitely. I'll be around, I hope. Yeah, man. Anything else you want to let people know about future
Yeah,
projects?
man. 100%. We got a deluxe coming. Some more music coming. You know, some
Yeah,
extra records. So that's on the way.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and then more tour dates, man. Just hit braxtoncook.com. You know what I'm saying? Go to tour dates. More tour dates all the way through March at this point. And then we just got vinyl. Vinyl's like I'm excited. I haven't done vinyl in years. This is my first album, so
Okay.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
we fly. Get the clear vinyl too. The clear joint is fly.
Okay. And we can find that on the website because I want a copy of that.
Yeah, it's on the merch on my merch side. So braxtoncook.com/merch, I think, or just go to my website and go to the merch
Yeah,
page.
I love the buy. And it all fits on one LP?
Surprisingly, 49 minutes somehow.
Yeah. Cool. Are you that guitar in the corner? Is that something you're building?
That's hilarious you say that. No, no. This was I think Renfro gave me that. I don't know why the headstock looks like
Yeah.
yeah.
Looks like one of those kits, I think, and you're supposed to cut it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He put
Yeah,
it.
no one ever did. So I'm just like, I just play with this. So.
Looks like an oar.
It does.
Yeah,
It does. Yeah, this is crazy. It's
yeah,
cool though.
that's awesome.
He has it set up so nuts. There's like 13 gauge strings on him.
Oh
It's
wow,
wild. Yeah,
maybe that's why it needs to look like an oar
exactly.
with its stick.
Yeah,
Hey man, I'm glad we were able to reconnect.
me too.
Uh, I could sleep better now knowing that we got this
Oh,
done.
yeah, no, we got it. It's in the bag. It's in the
I
bag.
was I was so upset with myself. Man. I was like, oh my God. Because I know people are waiting for this one and they're gonna enjoy it. I think we did a good job.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
and yeah, man. And hit me up next time you have something to promote. This show's doing great, and people are gonna hear it. So I'm glad if you're not aware of Braxton Cook at this point, I'm very glad to introduce this great artist to my listeners. So thank you all, and thank you, Braxton.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Jay Sweet.
All right, I'll see you soon.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, take care.